You heard it here first. Your bubble is about to burst. We have it all, pop culture and astro, true crime and all you need to know. You heard it here first.
Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday and welcome back to FemmeTarot. I'm Natalie, your international psychic medium. And as you know, I don't do fluff. We don't do the woo-woo fluff over here. We cut straight to the truth and we look for the truth. How is everybody doing on this very hot, very sunny, very summery Sunday? How is the chat doing? Happy Sunday, Luna's mom's Tracy. Happy Sunday to you too, Anna. It's so good to see. That is a good question. Is anyone watching? Well, Light Mission is obviously watching the World Cup, but anyone else watching the World Cup? Who are you rooting for? What are your predictions about the final game? I don't know if I have predictions. I can make a guess. I can make a guess for you guys if you want, but interesting. So Light Mission says that knockout starts today. So now it's starting to get very interesting. South Africa versus Canada. It's been such a fun World Cup. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Who are we rooting for? I mean, we're rooting for both countries always, but thank you, everybody. Do what Alexis is doing or what Alexis did. And like this video, you guys. Hold on, let me just take this off so you can see my little thingy popping up. Yeah, do like this video and consider subscribing to the channel. Help me get to 10K, you guys. We're almost there. We're at 8,500 subscribers. We're almost at 10K, and I want to celebrate big time once we reach that YouTube milestone. We're almost there. We're almost there. And of course, I have to bring up my disclaimer that everything that we say here today are based on my opinions for entertainment purposes only and not based on facts, and certainly not out there, or my intention is not to defame anyone. Just have to bring that up, of course. Let me see who else is in the chat real quick. Hello, Karen. With the heat waves in various parts of the world, it's crazy. It's getting hotter here as well, but Europe is boiling. Europe is boiling. My heart goes out to the people in France, in the UK, in Germany, Switzerland, Austria, Central, and even the Scandinavian countries as well. It's just so hot. And the thing is, it's a different kind of heat that you have like in the Mediterranean. In the Mediterranean, it's dry heat. So 40 degrees Celsius, I believe that's around 90 Fahrenheit, 90 something Fahrenheit. I mean, it's very hot, but it's a different kind of hot than 35 degrees Celsius, let's say around 89 Fahrenheit in Central Europe, because it's humid. It's humid. The humidity is what's killing people. Humidity is what's making it so uncomfortable. And the fact that so many places and buildings and apartment buildings and homes don't have AC, because in places like Paris, like Vienna, like Munich, London, they've got these old buildings and they have regulations that you can't drill holes on the walls. You cannot disturb or change the facade of a building. So that's why a lot of these places don't have AC. And also they're built for winter, not for summer. It's like to keep the warmth in and rather keeping it out. So you guys, my heart goes out to anyone who's suffering from this heat right now. She did make it with a delay. Granted, I think her flight was like an hour and a half late or delayed, but she made it and she was happy. She brought us some amazing little goodies from Turkey, especially those Turkish delights. I'll be munching on them for 3 days. And oh my God, the calories, let me tell you. They are delicious, these Turkish delights. We have them in Greece as well. They're called differently: baklava, kadaifi. There's all sorts, but they taste different. In Greece, I find them super uber sweet, so I don't normally eat them. But the Turkish ones are more butter based and less sugary, and I found them so delish. But she's back, and thank you for asking, Danny. Hello from Norway. Annabelle, we haven't seen you in a minute. I hope you're doing well. Hello, Val. Love you, girl. Love you all. I really do. Oh, it's so good. And prayers to Venezuela as well. It's horrific, but also it's just miraculous the fact that they are pulling babies, newborn kids, dogs, pets out of the rubble 11 days later. It's incredible to me. Miracles do happen. Following World Cup, what are your predictions? Okay, Isa says rooting for Congo and Sweden. Of course, Isa, of course, we are, of course, rooting for both of these countries. Yes, what are your predictions? The favorite are France, Portugal, and Argentina. I'm supporting France, US, and an African team. Good. Yes, I'm also supporting African teams always. But here's the thing. I don't know how to say this. Us psychics are not always the best at predicting the scores of games or how things are going to the outcome of a game or sports events and things like that. Yeah. Although one of my biggest successes, but it wasn't anything that was public back then, it was in 2004 when the Euro was on, the soccer Euro tournament. And I had predicted from the very beginning that in the end, Portugal and Greece would be in the finals and that Greece would win. And it happened. I should have bet my money on it. I should have done something. I didn't, but people around me at the time were gobsmacked, let me tell you. But my prediction, I'll just share with you, or my prediction or my guess or whatever you want to call it. I'm getting, without even knowing who's still, who's still in the World Cup, I want to see, I'm going to say Argentina. I'm going to say, they're taking me to Africa. Who though? South Africa, Ivory Coast, South Africa, and who else am I getting? Brazil, maybe even. These are the ones that just popped in my head. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Thank you, Val, for tech checking. As always, hello from Kansas. I love it. Oh, wow. Do not to heat, but by drown. I heard it's crazy, isn't it? To get out of the heat, be careful, don't turn your back on a wave. Yes. And also, don't go swimming or don't go in the water if you've just eaten. Okay. Wait a couple of hours before you go swimming. It doesn't matter how hot it is. Try to find somewhere shady, somewhere a little bit cooler, under trees. Go to the forest, go to the mountains to get away from the heat and everything. But please don't go swimming after you've eaten. Okay. That's super dangerous. I lost a long lost cousin years ago from that. So I'm super mindful of it. A lot of places don't have AC in Europe and Central and North Europe. Yes, climate has changed. Not necessarily because of climate change, but because of these cycles that are happening, and they're not well equipped. Unfortunately, the homes, the places are not well equipped. I remember when I lived in Austria, when I was super heavily pregnant with both my babies, we had one of these like portable AC units because we lived in one of these like older buildings where you're not supposed to change the facade, a beautiful building, whatnot. But it was a nightmare for a heavily pregnant woman, okay, with swollen feet and whatnot, couldn't sleep at night. So what I would do is I would take the car, drive around because I had AC in the car, because that portable little thing does nothing. Okay. Nothing. It just makes so much noise. It cools it a little bit, but not enough. And not enough for a pregnant woman. So I would drive around in my car, blast on the AC, and I would go to the malls. I would go to shopping centers and malls because they had AC, and I would cool down that way. The park was not an option. It was super hot. Or I would drive to the mountains outside the city and just walk around there, but that wasn't much help. The AC was help. So let me tell you, that's why it's just a huge thing right now, the heat wave here in Europe. It is. It is. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you. Oh yeah, Mexico is also I would say one of the finalists, if you will. But definitely I have a very strong and good feeling for Argentina. I've had it all along. Hello, Joey. Good to see you. So good to see you. I love this community too, you guys. I love it. World Cup, what's that? Yeah, that's how I feel. Kind of waiting until we get to sort of the end until I start watching. But maybe I should, let's just distract us from all the ugly stuff that's happening out there. Only some houses we see, normally no apartments. There you go. In Sweden, I can tell you, in Austria, it was a big thing. It's Messi Cristiano's last World Cup. True. I think so. I mean, they're getting older. Definitely Messi and Cristiano are not going to be playing professional football in 4 years' time, I don't think. Pretty easy path to the finals. I would love an African team to go far. Me too. I do root for the African teams 100%. Yes, it was. And we're about to get into the Taylor Swift. So I thought, since they're getting married in a few days' time, let's look at their wedding, because a lot of questions, a lot of rumors around their marriage, or sorry, not their marriage, their wedding. And then we're going to look at their married life. What is this relationship? I've done several readings, but I thought let's do it all in one. Okay. And I can get your questions on Taylor Swift and what's his name? Trevor. No, not Trevor. Travis. I don't know why. I don't particularly like them. I mean, I don't particularly like either of them. I don't dislike them, but I don't like them. And for whatever reason, I keep forgetting his name. I don't know why. I really don't. I remember his brother's name, but not his. It's weird. But back to when the further go when they ever have before. Good. I really wish an underdog, wins, or at least comes close to the finals. That would be wonderful. I like seeing underdogs really, putting themselves out there. But hold on, let me get back to that. Yes, I did predict that she would get pregnant, or she is either. I believe it was a month ago or a month and a half ago when I did a mini reading on Taylor. And yes, I still feel that if she's not pregnant already, she's going to get pregnant soon after the wedding. You absolutely did, and I will get into it now. So the first half of the Sunday Psychic Hour is going to be on the Swift Kelces. We need a moniker for them, I guess. Or probably the reason I'm not aware of it. And then we're going to be looking into, and I'm going to do a reading on Lori Vallow. It was on my list. It was highly suggested. People were in the past that were you have to do a reading on it. And I felt a pull today. Something pulled me to do this reading. So these are the two readings that we're going today. I agree. The whole let's get married in Madison Square Garden. And I believe they're going to do a 2-day event. It sounds like an Indian wedding to me. Indian weddings can last days and days and days. but it also, they're not Indian. So to me, it sounds very self-centered and very narcissistic. There you go. It's like me, 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 me. We need attention. We need to monetize on our wedding. It's all about, we want to take over the press and people talking about us. They're overshadowing J-Lo, because this is something J-Lo would do. I'm just saying. So we'll look into it. We'll see. Is that a rumor though? Are they indeed getting married in Madison Square Garden? Let's see. It's going to be a nightmare getting around. I agree. From what I read, they said July 2nd, they're going to do like a more intimate wedding, in quotes, intimate, because they said they're going to have about 100 guests. That's intimate, according to the Kelces. And then July 3rd, they said they're going to have a lot more people at Madison Square Garden. But Madison Square Garden is a choice for a wedding. And I know he's an athlete, but it is definitely a choice. If you're going to do a 2-day wedding and you want to do the intimate, again, these are my opinions. Everyone does what they want, right? But this is how I see it. If you're going to have an intimate wedding, don't do it in New York. Go do it somewhere else. Do it a destination wedding. Take it outside the country, okay? Make it difficult for the paparazzi and for the press, unless you don't want to make it difficult for the paparazzi and the press. Just saying. And then you can have a more public one, a more open one, and have it in Madison Square Garden if you really want to have it there. But to me, it's just, it doesn't scream romance. It doesn't scream romantic fairy tale, blah, blah. And then this is Taylor we're talking about. Yeah. Think about her songs. Think about how she writes, what she sings, and then think about where she's having her wedding. I could be wrong. Listen, up in traffic. Yeah, good luck, New York. Agree. It's giving Basil's wedding in Venice vibes. Maybe this is the new thing with all these celebrities and millionaires. Maybe it's this new thing. I don't know. They're fans and think they're above everyone. I think so too, Joey. I think so too. I think he's a Libra, she's a Sag. Read them before. I've even analyzed their charts. You'll find them in my channel if you want to have a look. But I agree. It's just that I don't think they care about their fans. They care about the money, okay? But they don't care about the fans, in my opinion. Let's see what you guys are doing, and then I'll just pull some cards. And if you have questions on them, help me out with this reading. Right? Yeah, I agree. It just doesn't scream romantic wedding. We're in love. We want to make this a very special day. This is like what you guys are saying, PR. I want to make money. I want everyone to be talking about this. Just, it's cringy. Destination wedding or something more meaningful where they grew up. I agree, but they don't. Look at Bezos. You guys said it yourself. Like, with all the money he's got, I mean, why didn't he? I don't know. He should have gone to an island and get all of the rich people on their yachts, come and meet them there. I know they have private islands and stuff. Oh, no. They do it because the world, they make a circus out of it because they want the world to be part of it and be part of the circus. No, thank you. Don't get us involved in your wedding plans and your wedding shenanigans. We don't give a shit. Oops, sorry, YouTube. Came out of my mouth. Okay, that's a good question. Okay, let me start. Let me pull some cards. She married Joe in an intimate wedding because she was actually in love with him. She and Travis are in love, but I think they have a love for each other. Yes. So the readings that I've done on them, let me tell you what I'm getting from them is that they both like who their partner is. Okay. Meaning which is interesting because I was just telling this to a friend earlier on that in one of my lives, someone pointed out last year. They pointed out that Travis always dated black girls. And now suddenly, he's not now suddenly, this was at the beginning of their relationship. And now he's dating Taylor and he's getting married to Taylor. Weird, right? Also, she never went for these like sporty, macho, athletic guys. Never. All of these, the guys that she went for were like metrosexual. No, you wouldn't call them really like men. You know what I mean? So yeah. She's probably gonna release another album that she's got. You heard it here first, by the way. And I do feel this is not just me just being, cheeky right now. I really feel this is I'm connecting to something and it's coming out of my mouth. She'll probably release a wedding album, something that she's already prepared. Okay. And this is not gonna be like a album per se. It could be like a collection of video clips of her new songs with images or video clips from her wedding. You heard it here first. This is what's coming. This is what I'm feeling. Okay, so what was the question? If they're both narcissists, is that neither of them can actually love anyone? So I'm not sure if she's a narcissist. I don't want to say she's a narcissist. He definitely has narcissistic traits. I believe that she's very self-centered. It's very different to narcissism. Again, I'm not a professional psychologist or psychiatrist, but from reading them and having connected to their energy, he gives me someone, he's a Libra. He's a player. He's someone who likes to be admired. He also, because he's a Libra, when he likes something or when he admires someone or something, he will express it. And sometimes it will appear or look disingenuous. But generally Libras, and having read him, he's not a guy who knows what he wants and he gets bored easily. Now she loves a challenge. Okay. She loves the chase. She loves the games. She loves the honeymoon stage of a relationship. So we'll see. I mean, especially if they're going to have a baby, I don't know. I don't see this marriage lasting. I've said this from the get-go. He's the one who's going to cling on and hang on to her as much as he can. To him, this is what came through during my first reading, when they first started dating, was, and I've done several others since, was that he likes being Mr. Taylor Swift. He does, because he knows that her fans are super fans. They're obsessed. And they know that she has so much power and so much money and that she's a smart businesswoman. So for him, this transition, especially in his career, going from, is he a footballer, right? To whatever else, figuring out his future, because the podcast is not going to be it. Okay. The podcast he has with his brother, I tell you, they're going to stop doing that soonish. I'm getting the feeling, if they haven't already, I don't know, but they're not going to continue doing that, the podcast. So what I see is that she's helping him with that, going through this transition. And we all know with athletes that once they reach a certain age, they have to start figuring out what's next, what's after my career, my athletic career, or my football career, my baseball career, my basketball, whatever career, right? It's what's next. And this is the stage he's in. So I will say it, and you heard it here first, and you heard it from me. She's a stepping stone for him. Now, as for him, to her, what is he to her? he's a Libra. He knows how to talk to women. He knows how to wine and dine them. He knows how to woo them. He knows how to do all that. He knows how to bring on this feminine charm. That's the thing about Libra men. We all have feminine and masculine energy. And he brings out more of the feminine energy and makes women feel safe and comfortable around him. And he also shows a lot of empathy towards women. And that's how he gets women to fall for him. And he played that game very, very well with Taylor. And Taylor was like, "Ooh, look at him, this big, athlete. He's like into me." This is in the beginning, it was very flattering to her. And then when they started getting all the attention and it came out, they both started liking the attention too. They were on a high. We are a power couple. Everyone's talking about us. All eyes are on us. They were on a high. They felt powerful. This is what's fueling and driving this relationship. Now, the baby that I've seen, there is going to be a baby. Even now, as I'm talking, I'm seeing the baby in front of me. Spirit showing me the baby. So, it always pisses me off when there's always children, babies involved in these types of people who are very self-absorbed, pretty much. Yes, 100%. They're very charming, love to flirt. They know how to talk to women. It is as it is. I've been saying for the baby, and I've said it's going to come around the time they get married, which is now. But let me see. Okay, let me get your questions. I'm just marking and highlighting your questions real quick. Okay, if you have any other questions, drop them down below. You know what I feel, Joey and Femmies? I do feel that baby's not going to be raised by Taylor or him. That baby's going to end up with, I don't know, with one of the grandparents. Maybe it's, what's Travis's mom's name? Anyway, I believe the baby will end up being raised for the most part by a grandmother. Let's see, watching when Taylor went into his podcast. Right, that was several months ago. It seemed as if he said the right things every time to her, was very complicated. That's what he does. But, I'll tell you what. I do feel, thank you. Her name is Donna Kelce, the mom. I do feel that Taylor is not she's not dumb, okay? She's an intelligent woman. I do feel that she does cringe sometimes when he overdoes it. She does maybe pick up on the cues that it's not always authentic what he says or how he says it, but she's okay with it for now. She's going to get sick of it. Let me tell you, she's going to get sick of it. They're going to start arguing about things like that. All right, so I have some questions here. Hold on, you guys. Give me a second because I'm boiling. I'm sweating. I need to turn my fan towards me. If it's interfering with the mic, please let me know. No, it's not doing anything. Please give me air. All righty. All right, let me start with some of the questions that you guys have dropped in the chat. I keep fiddling with my hair. It's annoying. I know, I'm hot. You can see on my skin. All right, whose idea was the wedding at Madison Square Garden? His. He threw it out there as a joke, I'm getting. Son, oh, you guys. Yeah, okay. So, son, it's all about the attention, the exposure, being seen and everything. But it's going to create so much, it's going to create tensions. because of the traffic, because of the security. Yeah, it's not the energy around is not going to be good on that day. But it was his idea. Let's see. Is the wedding a diversion from something else? Let me tell you what I just heard, okay, from Spirit. They said that they chose this date, July, because it is Cancer season. Taylor went to an astrologer. She did consult with an astrologer about the date, about when she should get married, and about the future of her relationship, the future of her relationship with Travis. And I don't know what the astrologer told her, but my guys are saying that the date was very much intentional. It's very intentional, the specific date, and it has to do with their synastry and their charts. So she's been talking to astrologers and psychics. Is the wedding a diversion from something else? Okay, these too many cards. By the way, they're also, where do they live now? Where do they live? I don't know where they live, but I'm getting that they're moving. They're going to move to a different place area after the wedding, by the way. This too, you heard it here first. Is it a diversion for something else? No, I wouldn't. I don't see it as a diversion to be. I wouldn't say it's a diversion. I would say that the wedding is something that they want to do. Again, there are many benefits to having a big wedding, and especially a wedding at this time. And at this time, due to World Cup too, which is interesting as well. I'm sorry if Louis is barking in the background and you can hear him. He's probably barking at the neighbor's dogs. And then I have the Hanged Man. All right. One second, because I'm getting some stuff coming through. There's going to be a third wedding. So why am I hearing third wedding? So there's going to be, I believe there are two that they're talking about, or two celebrations of the wedding, but there's going to be another wedding, and I do see them destination wedding. Here it is. Some kind of island traveling, and it's going to be just them, the parents, and the best man, and blah blah blah. And then that is going to be the official legal wedding. Whatever they're doing now, which is like a party or a attention-seeking thing, is not the real deal or the real thing. This is the, where's the question? This is the diversion, Everly. The diversion is not, it's the fact that they're actually having the real wedding a bit after this one, okay? After this hoopla and this celebration and event that they're doing. That's a diversion. This is not going to be the legal wedding. This is not going to be their, like, their anniversary, if you will. This is not going to be the date. But it's going to be this month. So Cancer season, the real wedding. But someone who loves astrology would have recommended a date when Jupiter was going over her moon in Cancer. Jupiter, I know, but here's the thing. Again, what I said, this is not the dates are there for the dates. I don't believe that these are the actual dates, the 2nd and the 3rd of July. All the writing is going to be after, like within Cancer season, but later in the month. Does she live in New York? Does she? I don't know. I don't know where she lives. Why did I think she lived in what's it called? Not Kentucky. Forget what it's called. We're waiting when her. Okay. Well, she should have. There you go. Maybe next time, Taylor. My door's still open, but you've got to listen to me because I say it as it is. Okay. Okay. We looked at that. How involved are both of them with the Illuminati occult type secret societies? I don't think he is that much. They did try to recruit him, I'm hearing. He could be part of a Rotary Club, which is sort of like the baby sister junior club of the Freemasons. And the Freemasons are the, let's say, the entry levels of the Illuminatis. So I'm getting Taylor's dad is part of the Freemasons and part of some of these groups. This is what I'm just hearing now. I don't think he is. I think he's part of the Rotary Club where they do a lot of like charity stuff and philanthropy. And I shouldn't be rolling my eyes because they do, okay, but I don't like what's behind that. I'm all for philanthropy, charity, helping 100%, but I don't like it when you're doing it for the wrong reasons. I just don't. But I don't see them being like involved in the occult. But Taylor's father is. I don't feel in her energy that she is, not yet, at least. Seeing photos of new girlfriend actress Sarah Pigeon, who played Carolyn Bessette Kennedy in Love Story miniseries. Is this lady Joe's endgame? Will Joe end up marrying Sarah? Wait, who's Joe? Wait. Sarah Pigeon. So seeing photos of new girlfriend actress. I'm confused. Who's the... Hold on. Joe is Joe an ex? Can someone explain a little bit better? Sorry, I don't follow Taylor Swift's career or life that closely. Okay, people are saying she has a condo in New York and a house in Beverly Hills. All right, Nashville. That's what I was trying to say. Nashville, not Kentucky. I was looking for Nashville. For some reason, I'm getting that she lives in Nashville right now, but if they are, wherever they're living, New York, Nashville, they're moving after the wedding. They're going to a very different a new location, not in one of their homes that they already own, a new one. Oh, he 100% is. 100%. In my opinion, as always. Oh, Joe, the real love of her life, not Travis. Thank you for explaining. Okay, so let me just go back to that question then. Let me find it. Okay, so was Taylor upset seeing photos of new girlfriend actress Sarah Pigeon, who played Carolyn Bessette in Love Story miniseries? So she's the new girlfriend of Joe. Okay. Why do I feel like Joe loves her? I just picked up the cards connected to ask the question, and I just felt like a sensation of love. Not in love, but love. Like, when you think of someone and you think of them with love and you have this warm feeling. This is how I feel. Like when it comes to Joe and how he feels about not Sarah, Taylor. Taylor, how does she feel about Sarah? Her name is Sarah, right? Yep. Let's see. How does Taylor feel about Sarah's role? The Four of Cups just jumped out. The Four of Cups just jumped out. She wasn't happy. She wasn't happy. She was a bit depressed, and I pulled the Empress. Could she be hormonal right now because she's pregnant? Three of Pentacles here. I would say she is a bit upset. She's using other distractions though, or was using distractions to not think about it too much. But spiritually, let me just tell you that there is unfinished business between Taylor and Joe. And don't be surprised, you heard it here first. Don't be surprised if in the future when they split up with the Kelce man, all right, she might end up back with Joe. You heard it here first. This is what I heard. Joe has fond, loving memories of Taylor. Yes, that's as soon as I picked up the cards and I asked the question, boom, connected to Joe's energy. And I feel he is fond of her. He does think of her. He does love her, not in the, in the way that, but loves her as an ex-boyfriend or an ex-lover would love someone, but they've moved on, I don't feel they have bad feelings or bad blood between them, at least not now, okay, as I'm connecting. Yeah. He's definitely been recruited, or they've tried. Feel about Carly Kloss. There's a rumor that they dated, but Tay-Tay's dad put an end to that. Let's see. I feel very indifferent towards Carly Kloss. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly. But I mean, she likes Carly. Like, it wasn't love. It doesn't feel like, yeah. I have also the Four of Pentacles, kind of like she's put up a wall and she's protecting herself, especially when it comes to the exes. She tries not to think about or ruminate too much about her ex relationships, especially now that she's in a relationship and getting married. But I don't feel anything lingering with regards to that relationship. How will the Madison Square Garden wedding go? Oh, any cold feet? Hold on. Well, I didn't even ask the question, but I want to show you the two cards that jumped out. It's the Magician and the Ten of Cups. I tell you, look at this. They're making this happen. The location, the date, and the time is not a coincidence. They've been advised to do this for the public, and this has to do. I want to go back to Joey's question because he asked, are they involved in the occult in any way? No, they're not. I don't get that they, or especially Taylor, is actively involved in any occult or magic or anything. But I tell you, she does consult with astrologers, witches, psychics, etc. And she does some light magic, or they do some light magic for her. And the Madison Square Garden is one of them. So to answer your question, and I'll pull a card before I do, because these jumped out. High Priestess, another one. I tell you, the location, the date, the time, all of it It's not a coincidence. Why am I getting so excited? I swear I haven't had any coffee this afternoon. I swear. This is me. This is me in the heat melting. I tell you, not a coincidence. So to answer your question, it's going to go great because they've done some sort of magic around it. And it has to do with the location and the energy of the Madison Square Garden. There you go. I'm just answering everybody's questions, including mine. Why? My question was that at the very beginning when we started. Why choose a stadium like or a place like Madison Square Garden, right? And there you go. There you have it. Will Taylor be happy? She will be happy. I don't get cold feet. No, 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 no. It's happening. She's going for it. They're going for it. And it except for a little bit of backlash that they will receive after the fact, during, it will be okay. High security, I'm saying. Drones. I'm seeing drones, helicopters. It's gonna be crazy. Crazy, crazy town. Was there a prenup at all? Good question. I don't think we've ever looked into the prenup or this question. Oh, yes, there is. I just pulled the cards and I heard big yes, there is a prenup. Oh, 100%. There are not just prenups, there are contracts between them. There are all sorts of things. Lawyers have been heavily involved in this, and business managers, the financial managers in all of this. I want to reveal something that I'm hearing from Spirit, okay, which probably is not something that's public, but if Spirit is sharing this information with me, it means it will become public at some point. So what I'm hearing is there, aside from the prenup that they have signed, and there is a prenup, there is a contract. So if anything goes awry or if anything goes wrong in this relationship, which I don't wish it because, we don't want to put that energy out there, but it will happen. It's not going to last forever, this relationship or this marriage. Let me tell you this. It might infuriate some Swifties, okay? Travis is going to come out with a very nice, hefty exit plan. And all of this for him, because it's part of this prenup thing, a prenup that they've signed. He's not allowed to talk about her, write any books, use her images. All of that stuff has been signed and agreed on. Yeah. And he's also going to get some money and just, I guess, to like make him happy and make him go away if things go badly between them. But it's been shared with me by Spirit, which it's going to come out in public at some point in the future. And remember where you heard it first. Will Taylor have to pay Travis alimony in the divorce? Oh, I just answered that. I hadn't even seen your question. There you go. I just answered your question. Carly Kloss is married to a Kushner, Jared's brother. Oh, interesting. They're all intertwined. It's crazy. She did, Juicy. She did arrive safely. Thank you so much. We had a members live on Friday, and I was a little bit anxious because my daughter was flying back from Turkey. They were on a school trip for a week. She had an amazing time. It was such an experience for her. She loved it. And I was a little bit nervous because I get nervous with planes and things like that. So, but she arrived safely. Thank you. I really appreciate you asking. Peach Tea is like, I've never seen less chemistry between two people than these two. Tell me about it. I don't know why, and maybe I'm just so dead wrong, but I still believe her and Blake Lively are still friends, but not at the capacity they once were. But what's the relationship? Okay, I answered this a couple of weeks ago, or I think it was last week, actually. Someone asked me. They're not close friends. They are starting to get friendly. Okay, now that the whole trial and lawsuit debacle is kind of like under the lid, or it's over. they will go back to being friendly, but not friends, but not close friends or anything like that. Now, I will pull a card. I did pull a card, I believe, a few weeks ago. If Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are invited or are going to the wedding. Hold on. Okay, 2 cards jumped out. I have the King of Wands. Why am I showing you the back of the card? This heat, you guys. I love the fact I'm like, yeah, there you go. Look at this card. It's the back of the card. And I have the wheel. So the King of Wands and the wheel. Let me pull card here. 6 of Pentacles, 3 of Swords. Okay. I believe that an invitation was extended last minute to the Reynolds household family for the wedding. But it's one of those, how it feels to me, it's one of those where you really don't want someone to come to your wedding and you kind of like do it on purpose, where you send the invitation last minute, especially if you know they're busy, because you hope or you know they're not going to be able to make it. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Yeah. So I don't see them going. I don't see them going. I feel that they've extended that invitation by third party. So Blake and Ryan can never say anything negative or, use it against her, but they're not going. I love how I'm ahead of your questions. I'm ahead of your questions. I'm going to be actively involved with Illuminati, but she does do the Eye of Horus and music videos, often in pyramid symbols. I know, I've seen it, but I want to say this. I've done a whole video, Joey, on the symbolism. And even if you go on Substack, I've written a whole article, 6,000 or 10,000 words on that. And a couple of years ago, I did a video on the music industry and how they use these symbolisms. You should go and watch that. I think it's 2 or 3 years ago. And as someone who worked in the music industry, I was at Sony. I worked at Sony Music back in the early 2000s when I was like 20 years old. I'm revealing my age here. I don't care. I don't have these issues. But let me tell you, some are really that symbolism. It's out there because they want to really show that they've sold their soul to the devil, called music industry, entertainment industry, elites, and the occults that they believe in, and they work with all these deities and entities and stuff. But some of them are not. They're just sensational. It's just to sensationalize or just to create a hype or just to pass on a wrong message. With Taylor, I feel it's that. I don't feel she herself is involved with that, but her dad is as a Freemason. I've talked about my own family and my stepdad's and grandfather's connections to Freemasonry and one of the highest levels. So I stay away from that crap, but I know quite a bit, and a lot of things have happened to me and my family. So I can tell you, if someone's a Freemason in your family and they ask you to do something because you need to keep them happy or appease them, you do it, whether you believe in it or not, because otherwise things get dangerous. Listen, for those of you who followed me for a long time, for years, because I've talked about these things, but I haven't really talked about it. When I mean I haven't really opened up, I've just given you breadcrumbs and I've given you some things. But all of this, everything that my life, which is very interesting. There's a lot of chapters in my life, a lot of things I've lived, a lot of things, and I know a lot of things, and I've been through a lot of things, which are going to be very interesting for you guys. Okay, I'm going to put in a book because it's safer for me if I put these things in a book rather than on camera, because I'm going to use lawyers. There's a whole load of things that I'm doing. I also have my mom who's going to help me finally, because my mom has my stepdad passed last August. She's broken free from all this. So There's a lot of things I want to share with you. So when I say Taylor is not, just because she does the symbols doesn't mean that she is one of them or part of it or that. It means that she has someone who's made her do it. And it's also sensationalizing. It's also sending a message. I hope I'm making sense to you guys. She refuses to tell us her birth time and date, like many other celebrities who put out wrong birthdays out there, is because they don't want us to look into their charts and they don't want us to tap into their energy. This is a protective. I am not against that. I think it's correct what they're doing. We shouldn't really put out our information or our charts. A lot of people, I see this on Facebook or other groups, they post their chart and they're like, can someone help me? What can you tell me about this transit? Where will this affect me? Or this is happening. Please don't do that. Don't do that. Do not do that. Okay, protect your energy by not putting such a personal thing as your natal chart or whatever else online. Okay, so celebrities do that to protect their energy. Explorer, thank you so much for your very generous super chat. It's so tacky. You and I agree. Okay, we both agree on that. The only thing that would make it more tacky is to have the rogue. Yeah. I just visualized it. Oh my Lord. That is so funny. Thank you for the super chat again. And I agree with you. Stupid doesn't believe in it like others. Yeah, exactly. She has to. And if her dad's involved in the freeway, let me tell you, you have to do what they tell you. I'm not joking. I've shared my stories, some of my stories, not even my whole stories. Have I told you? I told you that I used to have bodyguards and security because I was going to get kidnapped. Someone tried to kidnap me, and then they were stalking my mom, and all of this because of the Freemasons and the Illuminati and all that, Yeah, slashing tires, my mom's car. Wanting to take when she was pregnant with my baby sister, they were threatening to take the baby out of her belly. Think of maternal instinct. Taylor. Craziness. So you don't mess around with these people. So if you have someone who's involved and you cannot get out, let me tell you, with the Freemasons, if you're of the highest order and you try to get out, you can't. You think you can, you're never out until you're dead. And when you're dead, they come to your funeral. They come to your home and they open everything and they look for things that you have that are top secret and that shouldn't fall on other people's hands. And then they come to your funeral and they do a whole ceremony. We'll talk about all this. When I feel it's safe, I have kids. I have to, and it wasn't always safe for me as a kid. So, you know what I mean? Thank you, Danny. I appreciate it. Worse than Scientology, different, very different. Freemasons have been around much longer than Scientology. So if you want to ask me which one of the two is more, they're both super dangerous, occult, culty, dark, evil, whatever you want to call them, but groups. But the Freemasons have been around far longer. So, and their web is much bigger. So who's worse? Freemasons. Not all of them. Okay. There's some sects or there's some Freemasons that are just there that are for networking. Okay. They use Freemasonry for networking and to make more money and all that. Okay. Just put that on the, but if you are of higher the higher levels of Freemasonry, then you're in it, okay? And you're in it for life. There's no way, there's no leaving. If even if you think you are, even if they say, okay, that's fine, you can go. The door's open. Bye. Nice to know ya. Have a good life. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. They know exactly what you're doing, where you are, everything. I do, maybe I should do a members live. I've said this 1,000 times. I don't know why. Maybe I'll do a members live. I'll bring my mom with me and we can share with you a lot of stuff. I think my mom is ready now to talk and be honest and open about this. So I might do a members live just for that, just talking about Freemasonry and my experiences, and also what my mom was very heavily, unfortunately, affected by all this. No, they couldn't, but now they've got co-ed or mixed groups in Freemasonry, and but again, those are used mostly for networking and things like that. And Kempire, my bestie's in the house. Taylor Swift, president of Swifties, says, all right, please. I take it back. Not my bestie if you're the president of the Swifties. Just joking. I will. Yes, I will. I'll ask my mom. She's here this week, so I'll talk to her. Otherwise, if she does want to do it, I'll do it. Who's at Kempire? Kemp, this one's for you. Who's more delusional? Taylor. He says, ha ha ha. Do we have any other questions on Taylor and Travis? See, I don't know why I can't remember his name. What is it? Shamia, there you go. You have your answer for sure. Funny, isn't it? Yeah. So a lot of things came out about Taylor and Travis in this reading, a lot. So that'll be interesting. Travis. Yeah. That's a good question, Light Mission. Let's see. What do the Kelces think of the wedding? Kimber wants to know, how long will they be married? Hold on, you guys. All these questions are now coming in. Hold on. What do the Kelces think of the wedding? I'm getting Donna. That's the mom, right? That's her name, right? Donna seems to be a little bit starstruck by Taylor. Like, she looks up to her. She's so starstruck. I said it, which I find interesting. Now the dad Kelce, I don't think he's bothered. I don't think he's got much to say about this. This is what I feel. I feel he's one of those people, one of those dads that, like, kind of like picks his battles. He doesn't say too much about too many things, but when he does, he's very like boom, I think they're happy. I mean, definitely Donna. Oh my God, look at all these questions. Kempire, you came in and now all these questions are flooding in. Happy Pride, indeed. Indeed. Hold on, all these questions. Oh my God, all these questions. She was starstruck on the oh yeah, you're right. She was, wasn't she? While having a child or children change her and oh yeah, okay, so many questions. Yes, you did. And I think we might not even have time to do the Lori Vallow because I see there's so many questions. You guys, do you mind if we don't do the Lori Vallow one and I do a separate one for you guys? Like just a video on that? You let me know. I'm boiling here. This fan is doing nothing. It really is doing nothing. So, how long will they get married? How long will they be married? Let me ask my guides. Three years, four maximum. It's not going to last long. It's not going to last long. I'm getting 3 years, and I'm going to go with that. 3 years maximum. It's not going. Are we surprised? Are we? Are they not getting married on a Mercury retrograde? That's a good point. They are. They absolutely are. But that doesn't mean anything for the relationship because Mercury does not rule or does not affect relationships, except when your ex comes out of the woodwork, because that's what Mercury retrograde does. It like brings back all the exes. It does. Um Are they not? Yeah. So I don't know. There might be like mishaps and things like that during, but everything will be just fine. Like it's not, that's the, the fact that they're getting married during a Mercury retrograde is not what is going to make this relationship or marriage not last. It's the motives and the feelings. You think? Is there? Is there? I I wouldn't say she's a white. That's so extreme. That is so extreme to say that. Not you, Joey. I mean the rumor, you know? Um, I don't want to say that. I don't get that with her. I just get that she's like, I told Campfire earlier because we were talking. I'm like, she's vanilla, oatmeal, banana shake, oat milk, very boring white girl, very rural white girl, and she has that type of mentality, and this is who she is. But I don't get that about her, that she's a supremacist or anything like that. Aren't having a child as a person, I don't think it will change her that much. As I said earlier, I do see that child being raised by grandparents and nannies. Um, and I'm not shading Taylor. I'm just, Taylor is a busy girl. Hold on. Yeah, what I'm getting is what will change is her music will slightly change. Like her music will slightly change when she becomes a mom. The tone of the music, the lyrics for sure, there's going to be a change around her music. That's what's going to change. I don't think that she herself is going to drastically change or anything like that. No. Did anyone ask about any future kids? You mean with Taylor? Yeah, I see one. I don't see more than one. I see one. At this moment, I just see one child. Will they announce the pregnancy before the wedding? No. Mm-mm. I feel they're going to announce the pregnancy around eclipses. Eclipse is on the 12th of August, okay? I would say around then. Around then. I'm listening to my guides. 1 second. That's why I've stopped talking. She'll be around 4 months, I think. I really think she's pregnant already. I really think she's pregnant right now. Early stages, but wait, do you think wait, let me rephrase your question though, Explorer. Will they announce the pregnancy during the wedding? That's a question. Hold on. Yes, but not the Madison Square weddings. The the next one, the one that they're going to do secretly, privately, intimately on an island destination wedding. That's when they're going to announce to their people. To the world, I do believe around the eclipse or after the eclipse. Okay, yeah, I answered that one. If Taylor consults psychics, do any of them tell her the real deal, like how you tell it? I don't know. Depends who she goes to. You know how you have people, I mean, listen, a ethical and a good psychic shouldn't change their style of reading or should keep something from their querent or sitter just because they're a celebrity. Yeah, I also work with celebrities and I've read celebrities, and honestly, I'm exactly the same as I am to you guys when I read them, and I'm even more tough a little bit like with them because sometimes you have to protect, you have to share with them things that you get that would protect them because of what they do. Now, I would hope that whoever she's working with, I'm getting she's working more than one side. So she has like a team, like a team of spiritual practitioners. And she consults depending on what it is that she wants to consult about. She will call her astrologer, her psychic, her healer, whoever. She also believes in runes, and she does have someone that she who reads the runes for her. Just heard now. I would hope so. I don't know. I don't know who her people are, what they advise her, but I do know that there are some psychic mediums out there that do, they like working with celebrities or powerful rich people, and they tend to sugarcoat this. But again, it has to do with the reader, it has to do with your client. I don't know. I can't really answer that question. No. No. Unfortunately, no. Until and unless he passes, no. He will always have control and power over, and don't forget, it's his network and his people, if you know what I mean, that helped skyrocket his daughter's career. Let's see. People are like, I'm okay, do separate whatever people want. I'll go with. Brianne's a bit disappointed. Val's okay with it. Alexis has Valo questions. Okay, we'll do Valo. I'll take a couple more questions on Taylor, and then we'll just move on, okay? Siania say, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this afterwards, cut the video, and then I'm gonna put the Lori Vallow one separately for the replay crew, or if you want to come back and rewatch or something like that. I would never get married on Mercury retrograde because I don't need my ex interrupting my wedding. You know what I was thinking? I was thinking when I said about the ex, I was thinking about Taylor. Do you think Joe will be knocking on that door? Yeah, don't laugh, Campfire. I've told you 1,000 times that during this period, like the most forgotten ex out there will remember you and will text you, and you agree on that. Okay, we've all seen it. We all have experienced. They have all been talking about our ex, the British guy. All right. Oh, we have a new member, Zara. Welcome to the family. I will agree with that. I do also think she's very performative, liberal. I do agree on that. The rumor is that okay, what's the rumor, Joey? The rumor is that Taylor is a part of Project Beige. The name is not a coincidence, right? That's pretty much pushing white supremacy. Okay. I think it's rumors. I think, how about her dad, though? Maybe her dad is a white supremacist, okay? And it's trickling down to his daughter. I wouldn't be surprised if what's his name? I forgot his name now, something. I think he's more likely to be it than her. That's a good point. Some people do well in retrogrades if you were born during Mercury retrograde. Actually, if you have Mercury retrograde in your chart, what it means is that Mercury retrograde does not affect you the same way as it does the rest of the world. You actually thrive during the chaos. So I agree. Yeah, that's very correct. All right, so you guys, let's move to Laurie Vallow because Scott, that's his name. Thank you. It does. It does. It does. They always do. It doesn't matter if you're married, if you're single, if whatever. One of them is coming out of the woodworks for sure. Or one of you. You guys, you know what? Maybe it's one of you watching this now. Maybe you're one of those exes that come out of the woodworks and you text your ex. That's why I always give you a reminder during this period. Don't text your ex. Don't. It's going to last for as long as this retrograde is going to last, and then it's done. Okay. And then it's done. Okay, you guys, let's change a little bit. Unfortunately, let's change the mood. Okay, we're just going to talk about true crime now. I don't need my cards here, but I do want to everyone say thank you for the reminder. I mean, if you want to text your ex, it's up to you, but just remember, it's not going to last forever. It's going to last about 3 or 4 weeks, okay? Until next time. Also, another thing about Mercury retrograde that I don't think people say it enough, or astrologers say it enough, is everyone talks about accidents, about, saving everything, travel disruptions, communication disruptions, blah, 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 blah. But one thing that happens during Mercury retrograde as well is we lose things. We lose things. We lose our keys. We lose our minds. We lose things during this period, okay? So AirTag things. I don't know what you can. I actually got my AirTag out the other day because I hardly ever use it. Only when I travel for suitcase, for my luggage and stuff. I don't know why I took out the AirTag the other day, but yeah. Oh, that is interesting. Now, that is interesting. All right, you guys. Okay, give me a minute. Okay, so I can get in the Laurie Vallow mode and energy and space. Okay, because this is a heavy one. It's one of those that involves children, these cases. Now we'll explain for those of you, and I will give you a little bit of a summary for those of you who may not know of this case. This is a big case, though. It's fairly recent as well. It happened in 2019 in Arizona. I have my notes as always, as you know, because I don't want to make mistakes. It's my Virgo rising. It makes me very I need to be organized and I need to be this because I'm not always that organized. I'm an Aquarius. I'm an air sign. I'm all over the place a lot of times. Out of all the fixed signs, Aquariuses are the ditzy sister, All righty. Okay, so let me bring her up. Okay. There she is. I can't stand the fact that she's smiling and smirking after what she did. All right, everybody. This is Laurie Vallow Daybell. Okay. She's also known as Doomsday Mom. She was married. I believe he was the 4th or 5th husband. I've lost count. I believe she lost count too. Her husband, Chad, is a self-published doomsday author, and this is how they met because he wrote books, doomsday books, and I believe she went to one of his book signings or one of his talks. They met, and the rest is it's a very unfortunate and dark history that happened. Okay, So what happened in July 2019? I'm looking at my notes as well. This is in Arizona. Alex Cox, who is Lori Vallow's brother, he pew-pewed, okay, Lori's estranged husband at the time. So Lori was married to Charles Vallow when she met Chad. It can be a little bit confusing because we have similar names here. So when she met Chad, and Chad was also married to Tammy when he met Lori. Okay, now what happened is that Alex, the brother of Lori, pew-pewed the estranged husband, Lori's estranged husband, Charles Vallow. Charles, her now deceased husband, or not deceased, or pew-pewed husband, okay, had previously gone to the police and to the authorities and had said and stated that his wife, Lori, had threatened to unalive him. Now, in September 2019, Lori moved near Chad, so near Chad Daybell, who later became her husband. And within 2 weeks, when she moved near his place, her two children, Tylee Ryan, who was 16 at the time, and JJ Vallow, who was 7 at the time, went missing. 2 weeks after the kids went missing, Lori and her now-to-be husband got married in Hawaii. And in the meantime, in October 2019, Chad's wife, okay, hold on, I think it was, was it Chad's wife? Yeah. Chad's ex-wife, Tammy, was pew-pewed and was unalived. It's horrible, okay? I hope I'm saying it right, you guys. I've written my notes here, but they're a little bit all over the place. Now, what happened with those kids? While the kids were missing, they went off. Lori and Chad went off to Hawaii and got married, okay? And then 7 months later, the kids were found. The kids were found, unfortunately, unalived, and it was basically the kids' remains that were found, and they were found in a pet cemetery. And this was in June 2020. Very horrific. During the trial, a lot of jurors were physically sick when they saw the photos and they heard the descriptions of in what state the remains, the kids' remains were when they were found. Very disturbing, very dark, very evil. Now, she's called Doomsday Mom because she herself, she believed that she was a reincarnated deity, and that it was in her right, in order to protect her children and the world from the bad, the darkness. So basically, she truly believed that by getting rid of the darkness and the dark, okay, that the light would prevail and that they would be able to stop this doomsday from happening. This is what she claimed. And, this is the story she told, and she kind of followed as well. Okay, so Tammy passed in October. They got married 2 weeks later. Yeah, so sorry if I got it a little bit wrong. So September, Lori moved to be near Chad. Then the kids went missing September of 2019. Then Tammy, Chad's ex-wife, passed. They believed at the time of natural causes. Okay, they believed at the time there was natural causes. They had no reason to believe that there was foul play there. And then after that, they went and got married in Hawaii while Lori's kids were still missing. While those kids were still missing, she was actually even asking from her relatives money to pay the photographer, the wedding photographer, and to have this wedding. And her family were like, you should be paying a private detective or a private investigator. How about if we put the money on finding your kids instead of your wedding. So the whole thing, very twisted, very disturbing, very dark as well. Oh, they did. I can't believe it. Like terrible human beings. Okay. So I just want to share with you here again. I have written a few things before we started because I wanted to connect to one of the kids and see. I wanted to hear their side of the story, okay, with from either Ty Lee or JJ. But who I got instead was Tammy. So she didn't come in strongly. I want to say she was very weak. She stayed behind me, but this is what I'm gonna share with you that she shared with me. Tammy was asleep and she could never predict that this would ever happen. In her opinion, if Chad hadn't met Lori, this would have never happened, not only to her, but to the kids as well. Chad, yes, I wrote here, Chad was kooky and weird and was into weird fascinations about death and doomsday, but he would have never unalived her if it wasn't for Lori. This is what she's saying. Tammy had noticed a difference when Chad met Lori in his behavior on Chad, but she truly believed that it was some kind of like midlife crisis. And also, this is something that he kind of like hinted at because she noticed these behaviors and it would create tensions between them. And he would always say, leave me alone, let me be. I'm going through my thing. I'm going through midlife crisis. I'm just, I'm trying to figure out myself. I'm worried about doomsday. I really think this is happening. All of that stuff. Tammy also said that Lori was fixated on the fact that she was a deity, right? She really, towards the end, she was really losing it. And she really, really believed it. Lori, from the start, I'm not getting that Lori was so unstable. She was unstable, okay? There was definitely a mental health issue there. But it got worse. It got worse in time. It got worse when she got together with Chad because now they were really feeding each other these like really stupid, toxic, dark, like conspiracies and ideas and things that do not make any sense to the rest of us, but to them they created a world, right? A world, a bubble that they lived in, and they truly believed these fears and these doomsday predictions and all of that. They truly started losing sense of reality. And when you start losing sense of reality, unfortunately, you lose yourself along the way. And this is what I feel with Lori. Tammy made me feel that Lori did love the kids, at least when they were younger. So she wasn't like a stone cold hearted mom. She did love those kids. But she's also telling me that it was Chad put the kind of like, what I'm getting is like Chad kind of like had the idea, but not the idea of unaliving the kids or Tammy or what's Charles. No, the ex-husband was called Charles. Yeah, Charles. It was something that because Chad himself would get lost in his own like authorship and his own books and his own stories and the stuff that he really would immerse himself in there, and he started losing like sense of what's real and what's fiction in his books, in his life and his books. So he would come out with these ideas, right? What if we sacrifice the kids? What if we get rid of like Tammy and Charles? Then we can be together. But all of these in his mind, he would voice them, but in his mind, they were also part of this script or plot of the next book and the next thing that he's going to put out there. And and preach about, if you will. So and because Lori became so fixated on the fact that she was a deity, this wasn't from the beginning, but towards the end, before the kids were unalived, and after Tammy was, not after, before everyone was unalived, is what I'm trying to say. She truly believed that she had the power to separate light from dark. And Chad was there, kind of like, not, I don't get the sense that Chad at the beginning felt, realized how dangerous Lori could be. But Chad is also, and was also, dangerous. The thing is, the combination, as soon as they got together, that was it. It was a recipe for MURDER. Unaliving's a recipe for disaster. I'm going to say this. I don't know. I haven't followed the trial. I haven't followed closely the case. I remember it when it first came out, but I haven't really gotten into it, or when I did, I don't remember. You know, my memory, what my memory is like. But I'm not getting that Chad was the one who poisoned her mind, and Lori went and got her brother Alex and executed this plan. I just feel that Chad was cuckoo himself, has lost complete sense of reality and who he was. And he was super flattered to have this beautiful woman who was like, he's got the same, kind of like mindset as he did. He was like infatuated by her. He kind of got lost in the sauce with all this. She was the master manipulator, in my opinion. This is what I'm getting. And this is what Tammy's showing me as well and giving me. She was the master manipulator and manipulated her brother, her husband, Chad, her ex-husband, everyone around her. This is who she was. But she was manipulative as a person. She was narcissistic as a person, but it just got worse and worse and worse, and just got super dangerous. With regards to the kids, I am getting that she has no remorse whatsoever is what she did, because in order to, as a coping mechanism and as a survival mechanism, she has convinced herself that she has done nothing wrong, that this is part of the plan, and that she actually salvaged those kids from the darkness, the evil, and the world, and how the world's going to change, and this doomsday that's coming, and which includes aliens, by the way. I'm hearing in her mind what she thought. Yeah. So in her mind, she did the right thing. She did the right thing. She should have done that. And that in her mind, when she passes, the kids will wait for her at the pearly gates and will be, thank you, Mom, for saving us. This is what she thinks. So this is what keeps her going. And she has no regrets whatsoever, no guilt, nothing of the kind. She's just who she is. And even in prison, I just feel she harps and preaches this craziness to others, and she has disciples. She has people who follow her BS, Let's see what you guys are saying. You guys know the case better than I do. I'm just telling you what I'm getting. One of her ex-husbands who died suspiciously was Joseph Ryan. He was reported to be cold and abusive. He was towards her. So what I'm getting is like, she knew exactly how to get what she wanted from people. She's that type of person. She knew how to manipulate people and get what she wants. And she would get other people, in this case, her brother, for instance, Alex Koch, to do her dirty work. And she's always had a way of getting someone to do all the dirty work. And she got away with a lot. And there's another unaliving. I'm just incoming right now as I'm talking. I'm hearing that there was another unaliving from way in the past when she was 22, 23 years old that happened. An accidental unaliving. She was involved in it. She got rid of that body, and she never got caught. And she actually involved another man at the time to help her get rid of the body. It feels not it feels. I see it as a what's it called, like a car accident. Not a car accident, like a hit and run. There you go, hit and run. Joseph died of a heart attack. A lot of suspicious stuff. Have remorse in the afterlife. He was involved in all the incidents. I'm not. Let me see if I can connect with him. Tammy was the only one who was willing to come through. I can hear JJ, but JJ is not coming forward, unfortunately. And it's fine. It's fine. They have guides there who protect them, protect the kids. So if they don't want, I'm not going to insist. But let me see with Alex. I see him. He's hiding. I'm seeing you. Come on. Please come forward. Stop protecting your sister. Come forward. Do you want to clear your name? Is there anything you want to? He's like, no, there's no. He can't say, he refuses. He doesn't want to say anything because he's very loyal to Lori. I'll say it. And Alex, you pissed me off because if you're not going to, if you want to clear your name or if you want to say something, come forward. But I'll say it. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed. He didn't like that. It's okay. But you're not, Alex. You're not the sharpest tool in the shed, are you? Come on. Now he says fair, very fair. Yes, that's fair what I'm saying, because indeed he was manipulated ever since they were kids. She had this, like, he calls it magic or enchantment, that she had this thing over people, including especially men, where Lori would enchant them. And she's always, ever since they were kids, ever since they were young, she always had other people doing her dirty work. Does he have regrets? Yes. Now he does. He didn't have he had no regrets when he was alive and he was doing this, okay? But now, from the spirit world, knowing what he knows and being in spirit, of course he has regrets, but he says it was part of his contract, part of his soul path on earth. It was to help his sister. But when he was here, no. He truly believed everything she said to him, and he was a follower. Oh, did I insult the poor soul? Probably did, but he's not a poor soul in my eyes because he's unalived people. So, because I'm getting like he's not, you know. How did Lori's brother and ex Joe die? How involved was Lori's niece and friend was one of her motives to unalive Charles? So many questions, strategist. Hold on, I've got to take one thing at a time. Let me see what I can get, because I have Alex and Tammy sort of walked out. She does not like him. She hates him. They can't be in the same space, if you will. So, question 1: How did Lori's brother? We're talking about Alex, right? And ex Joe die? Let me answer this real quick. No, they're very separate. And I truly believe that the reason why is because the kids are very protected in the spirit world. I could not connect when I asked them to come forward. I could not. Then I asked my guides to tell me what's going on, why they're not connecting. And they said that they're in a different sort of area and space. Again, they need to be protected. Okay, they need to be protected. Probably because many mediums have tried connecting to the kids. So now there is sort of like a safeguard there. So they don't know, they don't interact is what I'm getting. Hold on. Where was that question again? There. How did Lori's brother index? I'll see how much I can answer from what I'm getting from whom I have here, okay? Someone drowned. Someone I don't know if this is the brother at next Joe. I don't know if this is Joe I'm seeing. Someone drowned though. But not in water, drowned from their own saliva, from choking. And the other one's a gunshot. A pew pew, sorry, I should be more careful. Pew pew. How involved was Lori's niece and friend, the two Melodies? Was one of her motives to unalive Charles? Was her hatred for his sister? I truly believe, like, as I connect to this family, to Lori, her niece, and generally some of her family members, including her brother Alex, I've got to say this. They were all such gullible people. Like, Lori had this, she was very convincing and very manipulative. So they were all kind of like hanging off her, like what she said, like hanging off her words and her actions. So Lori's niece, how involved were Lori's niece and friend, the two Melodies? They were. They were part of scheming and plotting and I'm getting and doing like Lori's dirty work. Lori would say, "Can you drive this? Can you take this there? Can you do this for me? Do that." Like this type of thing. Think of the mob where you have like the Godfather who gives all the instructions and that, and then you have, like you have levels underneath. You have the executioner, the driver, the this, the that, the mastermind, the collector, blah blah blah. That's exactly how it worked there, with Lori being sort of like the Godfather, and then having like exes and nieces and family members really doing her deeds for her, if you will. Hence why Alex, poor guy, not being so sharp and being very gullible and very much manipulated by his sister, being and ending up being the what the mobsters, what in mafia they would call like the executioner. So yeah, they were all pretty much involved, unfortunately. Did Lori unalive her sister? Technically, no, but yes. Meaning I don't get that she did it using her hands or anything else, but she did unalive her through Alex. I tell you, Alex had very much Alex and Chad. Okay. And I know it's going to sound very disrespectful, but they harmed kids. So I don't care. What they did, so Alex and Chad, not only they're not that bright, they're the stupidest of the stupidest kind, because I do feel that deep down they do have and they had a conscience, and they did have a moral compass. That she had a fantastic way of, I don't know, if like diverting them or like overriding that moral compass and getting them to do all her dirty work. So, yes, the answer is yes, but not like directly or to herself, or did it herself. Oh, oh no. Which one? Do you mean JJ? JJ was autistic? Hmm. That's sad. I mean, that's sad if he was like, especially if he was like on the spectrum or something, and it was just, that must have been really scary. Thank you, Explorer, for the super chats. I really appreciate it. Okay, their days, they believe Tylee passed, Lori, the two kids, and Alex went to Yosemite. Was Chad there when Tylee passed? I don't know. I'm not being shown I tried before I came on to do this live. I did try to connect to like their passing and how they were unalived because I have no idea. Okay, I haven't followed the trial. I don't know. So I wanted to hear it from them. If they show, but again, I'm not allowed to connect to the kids, and I'm not being shown that whatsoever. The only thing that I can tell you is that they weren't pew-pewed. So the way they were initially unalived was in a manner where they wouldn't leave traces behind, like bullets and stuff or markings. So with Tylee, I'm getting there too, suffocation. I'm getting suffocation with Tylee. JJ was different. JJ was something happened to his head. Something happened to his head, meaning he was hit in some way, but in a way where it wouldn't leave like a mark or a dent. What happened to his like an electrocution kind of thing, like electrocuting, like and it messed up with his nerves and his mind and his head, like some kind of electrocution there. And this feels more like torture, like creating like a torturous unaliving as a means of unaliving someone. Ugh. That's what I'm getting with them. Let me see if I get any more. When was Chad there? I believe Tylee passed, Lori, the two kids, and Alex went to Yosemite. Was Chad there when Tylee passed? Show me who did this. It was a man. It wasn't Lori. It wasn't Lori. It was a man. Which one though? Chad. Chad? Chad? I think Chad started it and Alex finished it. They were both somewhat involved. Tylee didn't die. JJ, I mean, especially JJ was not alived immediately. 2 days. 2 days of suffering. 2 days of suffering. They thought JJ had passed. But he was still with us. Tylee, there's something about Tylee that is making me very upset. I want to cry. I unfortunately feel that Lori did not particularly like Tylee or was somewhat jealous of her or felt intimidated by Tylee for some reason. And I feel this is not like a rational kind of, like, it's not rational when a mother doesn't like her child or is jealous of her child or antagonistic towards her child. But knowing Lori's mind, okay, Lori truly believed that especially Tylee was a bad entity, was there to harm her, was there to stop her, to stop Lori from her plans to become the exterminator of dark entities. Alex and Lori were in an incestuous relation. No, I don't get anything like that. I just get that Alex was easily manipulated because he wasn't that bright by her, and she was a master manipulator anywhere. No, I don't get anything like that about them. It appears that Chad has moved on from their marriage, but Lori denies it. What's the tea? Yeah, I mean, I see that. Chad is not doing great. He may have moved on, which I do feel like. See a woman next to him, but he's not. He's never gonna move on from this. This is, and I'm not saying this is necessarily guilt, but I want to say that he's not. This is gonna follow him for life, and he knows that. So that's really weighing on him. Unfortunately, it's not his actions that are weighing on him. Excuse me, it's more so what people say about him and how people see him and how he's seen, and that he can no longer write books and people will not write books, you know? Okay. I don't know, but there are several that Alex and Lori did. And what I got earlier on was that there was another unaliving when Lori was 23, around 23 years old, but she didn't make Alex make that unaliving. There was another guy who got involved. So to answer your question, I'm going to ask my guides now because I cannot calculate how many unaliving. I'm going to ask my guides to answer this. 4 unalivings I'm getting. I heard 4 because I saw 4 graves. This is how they communicate with me. So yeah. Iris, do you help for mediums, or are they not into it? They're not. So I've worked with, I'll tell you what, I've worked not officially with law enforcement, but I've worked with cops, with police that have booked readings with me specifically because they are at a dead end with cases and they wanted to see what I'm getting. So, but they do it that way because depends on the precinct, depends on the department. Some police departments, depending on where in the world, they don't believe in mediums and they don't work with mediums and they don't have budgets for mediums, because mediums, although we like, I'll do it like pro bono, I don't like, I'll do it for free, but they still, because this is, it's a civil department, or it's governmental department, state department, whatever, I don't know how you call it. It's called differently all around the world. It's when they hire someone for their services, they need to pay them. Okay. So and some police officers don't believe in mediums. They feel that it's more confusing, that it can tamper with a case of the investigation. But there are some who believe. And as I said, the cops or the police officers or the investigators that want my help, they usually book and pay with their own money, and I help them that way. But then when I know that if I know that they're police and they're actively working on a case, I won't take their money. I will do it for free. Okay. So I'll always, because they won't tell me beforehand always. They will just book the reading. I think they will tell me it's an emergency or something that I has to do with an unaliving. So I'll just squeeze them in. This is how it's happened in the past. And then they tell me when, we meet, when we start. So yeah, but I would love to work with law enforcement. I have tried, I have offered my services, but as I said, the others don't have the budget. They don't have the understanding. There's many reasons why some don't and won't. And also they prefer mediums that are local. Those who do work with mediums, they prefer mediums that are local to the case. So me and the others on the other side of the world, they're not going to prefer it. But I've always said I'm open and I'm here to help anyone anyone's involved in cases like true crime cases, cold cases, missing kids, things like that. I've had people who reached out to me about missing relatives, and I've given them all the clues and everything that I've gotten. So I've helped in those ways. She's like a serial killer, but she's not the one doing it. You know what I mean? She gets everyone else to do her dirty deeds, and she thought she could get away with it, but she didn't. Still believe in his innocence. They didn't show up in their mother's trial. I do believe that his kids, not in his innocence, but truly believe that he was poisoned and influenced by her. So in that sense, they do believe that their dad's innocent. Like he would never have done that. He would have never, done these evil acts if it wasn't for her. But they were both just as responsible and just as evil. And I feel that the kids, for their own sanity, they just need to believe what they believe, which is, our dad would never have done this if it wasn't for her. So, and it's fine. I respect that, to be honest. And he still visits her. Is that true? She also said it only matters how you treat other people in this world, and she'd go to heaven. Please don't listen to what that psycho biatch is saying. Lori has said she died and had conversation with Jesus. Let me see what I'm getting, but they all find Jesus. Jesus finds all of them, when it's like a little too late, I guess. Hold on. She had a dream. I'm getting she had a dream. She didn't connect to Jesus or anything. She just had a dream, and that she's manipulative. She's using that, okay, dream to say, like, oh, Jesus came to me and he said I did the right thing. I should have protected. It's a coping mechanism for her too. She believes her own BS. I agree, Brienne. Jesus does not want to get involved in her BS. Tylee was killed first. Yeah, the trial says Chad killed Tylee. Lori was like Manson, who got others to kill for her. 100% Lori was. The trial says Chad killed Tylee. Yeah. She did not touch, okay, any single person that has been unalived because of her. She has cleverly made these other men, her brother, Chad, these other men, the men from when she was in her 20s, to do it for her. Okay. So did Chad unalive Tylee? I'm getting two men unalive Tylee. I don't know if it's Chad and Alex or Chad was someone else, but there are two men who did this to her, and it was suffocation. I can't breathe. Tylee couldn't breathe. Yeah. And they did to both kids in a way where they wouldn't leave evidence behind, like evidence like blunt force trauma or like visible clues. So I don't know if they were thinking that they could get away with just unaliving those kids without leaving any traces by suffocating one, electrocuting the other, and just pretending that those kids ran away and then dump them in the woods or whatever. But that plan did not work out the way that they want to. But what I am hearing and seeing is that what was important for them is that the way that these kids were unalived were not through a pew, were not stabbing or anything like that. It was going to be in a way where there were no visible traces on their bodies. Thank goodness she's locked up. I agree with you. She hasn't learned her lesson and will just get some people done. That's the thing. You know why? You know what? If she was smarter and so were the other men around her, at least she could have gotten away with this because she had everyone else do the dirty work for her. So she could have, if they, she could have gotten away with it, but they didn't. She didn't. Okay, sorry, I just had to look at my text real quick because I had a text from my daughter. All right, you guys. So I think we'll wrap it up because we've been at it for 2 hours already, and this was a lot. This one, I am gonna split this video in two. So I'm gonna do the Lori Vallow a separate video for the replay crew. Will be easier for them, or for those who just are interested only in the true crime and not the pop star stuff. But it was a good read. I think we really got into a lot. A lot was revealed, and especially when it comes to Taylor Swift and the Swift Kelce wedding. This is going to be so interesting how it all's going to unfold for Taylor in the future with a baby. You guys, on your way out, don't forget to like this video. I really appreciate it. Let's get the algorithm to love my channel and get this channel in front of more people. Let's expand and grow the community. Let's get to 10K. I really appreciate you all. I really love you all. Thank you for being here every Sunday. Love you all. Take care. Have a beautiful week. Next week, the upcoming week. Take care, everybody. Bye.